many people in this room have ever heard of Denton, Texas?
Yeah.
So I'm going to be honest with you. Before I had the opportunity to meet the person that I get to introduce tonight, I had never heard of Denton, Texas. Now, if you ask her where she's from, she'll tell you Winston-Salem, and that's fair, because that's where she spent her formative years. But I always find it very important to focus on where people had their roots. And if there's one thing that I can tell you about Denton, Texas, it's that there must be something very, very special in the drinking water. And that's because Denton has grown and has produced a person who I truly believe represents the new face of leadership in this country. She is absolutely unstoppable. She cannot be contained. That may not know, she went to North Carolina, Chapel Hill. She earned a BA in psychology, which is why she's very good at getting inside all of our heads. And while she was there, she became the first African American woman to become senior class president. She had to be and what she had to do on that campus in order to accomplish that. And it becomes very clear that North Carolina Chapel Hill could not contain her. So she gets recruited by this little company called Black & Decker. She gets recruited for the marketing unit, and in 3 years she gets promoted 3 times. How many of you work for a company? Any company? Okay. What do we know about people that get promoted 3 times in 3 years?
They are it.
We know that they're a superstar. So you know where this story is going. She was a superstar at Black & Decker, but Black & Decker could not contain her. Okay? So then she gets recruited by this little tiny organization that none of us have ever heard of called Teach for America. And while she's at Teach for America, she's responsible for recruiting talent that is to contribute to the diversity of Teach for America. And she does such a phenomenal job that within 7 years, she becomes the managing director of talent recruitment. She changes the number of diverse talent at Teach for America from 23% during that tenure to 51%. And if you're anyone who's in the space of diversity and inclusion, you know that those numbers are unprecedented. Okay? Just imagine a company where 51% of the talent is diverse talent. The chief people officer was like, wait a minute, now what are we going to give her to do? Okay, so they gave her then, after that, all responsibility for leadership development of the talent at Teach for America. And she blew that out of the water. Guess what? Teach for America could not contain her. So one day she's like, I guess I'm just going to start my own company. And that's what she's done. Right now she's supporting organizations to create inclusive environments, to create places where people can really bring their full selves to the table. She's helping them with workshops and trainings. She's now become a thought leader in the space of professional development and diversity and inclusion. She's spoken at Columbia. She's spoken at Harvard. She's spoken at the Clinton Initiative. She's been featured in Black Enterprise magazine. She's been featured in Essence magazine. Wherever this woman goes, she excels and she elevates. She cannot be contained, and you want to know why? Because you cannot keep an eagle in a shoebox. Unfortunately, she has a man in her life who understands that. The world will be a better place for the talent that is unleashed because of him and because of everyone in this room who supports her in her work. I met Jovian a number of years ago. I was running an organization called the White House Project. We hosted an event. She was there. She was working the room flawlessly. and I made a beeline over to her. Everybody was like, where are you going? I said, wherever she's going.
Yeah.
Wherever she's going, and that's why I'm standing right here with you tonight. My life's work is advancing women and girls. That's the only reason why I'm on this planet. I cannot think of a woman who exhibits such keen savvy in terms of strategy, who has such fresh, dynamic leadership, who is so committed to civic engagement and public service than this woman who's about to come out tonight.
Yes.
She lives on performance, she lives on point, but most importantly, she lives on purpose.